Hey guys, what is up? Sam or Scorpio here, bringing you guys my guide on how you all can complete the IX or 9 Easter egg cutscene inside of Black Ops 4 Zombies. Now this is the first of the brand new Chaos story maps to be solved, and this actually takes place after Voyage of Despair, although at the current time that Easter egg is yet to be solved, but I will let you know and I will produce a guide once that Easter egg has been beaten. So pretty much I'm going to go over first a few class options that I would recommend for you and your team. First up, for your special weapon, I'd recommend the hammer or the chakrams. They are absolutely incredible for killing zombies and protecting you at your stage 3 levels. Equipment wise, I recommend the acid bomb, although this isn't hugely important as you will actually be replacing it, or at least a few of your team members will, when they try to get the new monkey bombs that called the homunculus out of the mystery box, which is very helpful in the boss fight and throughout the Easter egg as a whole. Starting weapon doesn't matter because you will get a pack-a-punch weapon very early on after completing your first 3 challenges, but I would recommend the Strife because it's very powerful with headshots and things. Perks wise is very much your preference obviously, but my recommendation, what I and several of my teammates beat it with, is Quick Revive and Stamina Up for the obvious reasons of reviving faster and faster movement. Dying Wish is great for saving your life. I personally quite like it in the modifier slot, but that's very much up to you. And Time Slip also is a great one to go with because it just allows you to do everything so much faster, and it is incredibly helpful in beating this Easter egg. Elixirs wise again is very much your preference, but some of my favourites are points drop, so you can share about points very early on to get stuff open, because this Easter egg will take you to a very high round, so the lower round you can get things done, the better. You would maybe want to use equipment just to recharge your equipment immediately, because when it comes to throwing those monkey bombs or the homunculus, that is absolutely incredible to have them just ready at a moment's notice. Aftertaste to save your perks, because there's a decent chance of taking down in this, because it is very hard and it will take you, as I say, through a fair few rounds. And finally, for your best elixir, I would say Nowhere But There is an absolute great option to teleport to a downed teammate. As I say, all this is your preference and it's very customizable. Now let's get into the actual quest itself. There will be a few other guides that you will need to know about linked down below, most of which by me, 1 or 2 by a few close friends. And yeah, let's get right into this, guys. So the first step of the Easter egg, as it seems to be with every Easter egg in this game, is to open the Pack-a-Punch, which I do have a guide for that will be linked down below, not by myself, but I'm going to link 2 guides for 2 different parts, for both Pack-a-Punch and for how to build the wonder weapon in this map, because both are going to be required for the main quest. So one step I forgot to mention, apologies for that, is you are actually going to need to acquire poop, which you do get from the crowd. Now what you're going to need to do this is you're going to need to get a few grenades and throw it into the crowd. This will get your positivity bar or your crowd affinity all the way down. Down with thumbs up with a red mist is what you need. This can be done from opening Pack-a-Punch anytime after that, and they're going to go to hate you because of that, and they are actually going to throw balls of crap at you. You'll see here that it will land, and you are actually going to run over this to pick it up to be able to proceed with the following steps. So the first actual step of the main quest is, as you're seeing on screen, to go into the room where Pack-a-Punch is found, and you will actually see that the bottom section of the wall is covered in skulls. Both the upper and lower sections of it is covered in them. Now if you actually look around, you'll find that one, as I'm showing you on screen right now, will actually have a symbol on it. You need to find this. There are many locations for this. I'm going to show you a few of the ones I know on screen right now, but if you don't get it out of those, then just look around and you will find it, because only one will have that symbol on it. Once you have located the symbol, you're going to go up to it and you're going to crouch, and you're actually going to want to activate your special weapon whilst looking at it, ideally touching right up against the wall. That's the best way to make sure it works, and then it will pop out the wall and it can be picked up. Now you're going to need to go to a grinder found in the flooded crypt, and you're going to place the skull we picked up into it. At this point, this is where you'll need that wonder weapon, because you're going to need to shoot it 3 times with a fully charged shot. After doing this, you can then retrieve the item. Next up, basically what we're doing here is we're trying to make a fertilizer. So the next thing we're going to have to do is we're going to need to go upstairs to the main area, and we're going to need to try and get a gladiator to spawn. These are the big guys that have the axes. Get a last once you have one of them, have a teammate hold them or whatever, and you're going to get this gladiator to actually try and throw an axe at these fire bonfire type things inside of the arena. Once he does this, this little wooden thing will actually spawn that you can then pick up, and you can actually take it down to the large cauldron at the bottom of the Odin's Tower and you can place it. Now you're actually going to have to, at this point, go 3 rounds, because then after that it can then be collected as coal. Now once you actually have all 3 parts to make the fertilizer, you're going to need to go to the Zeus's bathhouse, and you're going to need to go to this little cauldron bowl type thing, and you're actually going to need to place the 3 things inside of it. This will then, well, start a process. At this point you're going to have to wait roughly 2 to 3 rounds, 2 full rounds I believe, and then you can actually pick this back up, and then you need to head down to the entrance to the danu area on the floor, right on the bottom floor, and between these 2 trees you're going to place this down. At this point again you're going to need to wait another 2 to 3 rounds. I know, so many waiting rounds in this Easter egg, honestly, that's why it does push you up a fair few rounds. And then at this point it will begin to smoke green. Now you're going to actually need to have a gun which has the firebomb ability on it. This is pretty much where you've pack-a-punched a gun, and one of the double pack abilities is the equivalent of Blast Furnace from Black Ops 3, and it's called Firebomb. Now what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to run a zombie over this fertilizer whilst it's, you know, all doing its whole green thing, and you're going to need to have it die by that firebomb to activate it, and then you'll actually see this whole blue symbols thing start appearing on your screen. It's at this point that every teammate in your game needs to come down here right now, and they need to activate their special weapon ability. And pretty much what it seems to be is they have to actually swing it about, get kills down here on top of this symbol, and then after a little while you will actually be taken into a black and white version of the danu tower. This is a really cool little step, and pretty much you're going to go through each floor of it one by one. And this part, honestly, the homunculus, or the monkey bomb equivalent for this game, comes in hugely helpful. So what you want to do is have 1 or 2 players maybe covering you ideally. This Easter egg can be done with any player count, but it is easier. I'd say either solo for, you know, no players at all, or go all out and go 4 players to have cover and all that stuff. So I'd say for the 4 players you want to have cover. Solo monkey bombs will help you hugely, so make sure you have them. They're pretty much going to be an essential requirement for this process. What they then have to do, their other teammates, I'd recommend having a very powerful gun for this, pack-a-punched ideally, and just shoot the crap out of this red bulb. You'll know it will see like the bulbs on it will start popping one by one. There's actually 3 of them. Once they're all popped, you can then find that you'll be able to progress onto the next floor, and you will get a flash on your screen and a max ammo. You're going to do this 1 floor at a time until eventually you reach the top, and then you'll find you're teleported out back to the normal vision, because this step has now been completed. Congratulations, you have officially purged the blight. It's at this point that we're on to what could be called the hardest step of the Easter egg, but don't worry, if you follow my tips here, I'm sure you'll be able to manage it nice and easily. This step is Answer the Dawn, and it takes place around the Ra temple this time. So pretty much 4 bull symbols are actually going to appear around the map, and before you can do this you are going to need to make sure you've built the shield, and if not, then why not? It's so helpful in this game, so make sure you have that built. Again, guide link down below on how you can build it with all the part locations. So you are going to actually need to find these 4 symbols one by one. I believe there's 8 or 9 locations. I'll be showing on screen all the ones I know as of now, and I will leave links in the description if any more are found over time. Now what you're going to need to do with these is you're going to need to pull out the shield and make sure you have some ammo in this, because you're going to need to actually shoot these symbols with the burst, and then you'll see they light on fire, indicating that you have hit the symbol correctly. At this point 1 or 2 challengers will spawn, and you actually need to kill these for then a soul to flow into the Ra statue, and that is pretty much how the step works. You need to find 4 of these, activate them, and kill the souls to then fully activate the Ra temple. At this point your entire team needs to head up to the top floor of Ra, next to where the gong is in that region, and they're actually going to need to all hold square on this obelisk to then trigger the next step. You'll see a flash on your screen to indicate it's right, and at this point you are locked in the Ra tower, so make sure you're properly set up for this with double packed weapons 4 times ideally, because as you may know, after you've double packed a weapon 4 times, it will gain 25% damage each time, capping out a double 100%, so you can actually double your damage by doing that. I would recommend running good guns like rifles. LMGs are great in this game, so I'd say they're your best possible options for this. And now you're actually going to need to be paying close attention here, because this obelisk, once you go into here, is immediately going to flash with 4 different symbols. Each of these symbols is going to correspond to a different special zombie. Now, during this ritual, you're going to have access to all 3 levels of the Ra Temple, so make sure to spread yourself out nice and evenly. I'd recommend someone who knows what they're doing well with this step being at the top, so they can, you know, read out the code, and then your teammates can help enter the code, as I will explain to you in a second. Now, what you want to do with this is, you may see each code corresponds to a different special zombie. This will actually show you the order in which you have to kill 4 different special zombies. If you shoot a special zombie and kill them outside of that order, if it's wrong, you will fail the step and you'll have to push around and then go up and reactivate that again. You'll know you failed it because it will do the whole fail thing where it flashes on the screen before you've done the 4. But if you do it successfully, then you will actually be able to redo this. Now, how you actually do this is, this will be the order you kill the different special zombies. Very easy to do, honestly. Just read it out to your teammates. The translations are shown on screen of what each symbol count corresponds to, and just kill them one by one. I'm sure you can get this. Very easy to do if your teammates know what to do. And be careful with double pack abilities, because otherwise they could end up wrecking those special zombies when you really don't want them to. I also wouldn't recommend monkey bombs thrown during this, because it will totally screw you up. You will actually have to do this again after you have beat it successfully. Everyone needs to come back and activate it again. But if you fail, you will need to push around. I don't believe you have to do this if you do it successfully. The reason you have to do it twice is just to kind of cover different types of special zombies. You can get pretty much everyone in this. You can get the tiger, you can get the electric, you can even get a blight father in this tower. So be careful, make sure you're equipped. And that is pretty much how you're going to beat this step. So as you may have figured out by now, the way this Easter egg works is it has a section for each of the 4 different gods that are part of the map. These are Zeus, Odin, Ra, and Danu. So we've done Danu and Ra. Next we're on to Zeus. Now this is probably the simplest stepwise, but this one will actually come with 2 rituals. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to go downstairs to the lower area, and you're going to see these 4 different pipe type things have spawned in. And what you're going to have to do here is shoot, as you see me doing here, you shoot this and then you'll actually see the thing rise up and kind of inject itself up into the ground. You're going to have to do this with all 4 of these, as you see me do on screen here. Make sure you know all the different locations. This is very easy to do, this little step. And once that is actually done, all 4 players are going to head up to the arena and activate the central area of the arena. So pretty much you just activate this, and then an actual ritual thing will begin, and you'll be teleported back down here. This is very easy. Just survive, kill stuff. You can use the homuncules if you want, which are the monkey bombs for this game. It's pretty damn easy to do. Wonder weapon, all that stuff. It's not hard to survive down here, honestly. And then once that is actually done, you'll see that when you go back upstairs to the arena, that these things are actually sitting up top, and now you do have to charge them. At this point, you're going to need to make sure you have a gun with the double pap ability of the electro thing, kilowatt I believe it's called, which is the dead wire equivalent of this game. And what you're going to do is you'll see these 4 different electric rings that are on the outskirts of each part of the arena. You're going to need to kill zombies with this dead wire ability inside of this circle, very importantly. But whilst they're being, you know, damaged by it, you have to actually keep shooting them to kill them during that process. If you do that, the soul will charge. You're going to need to put souls into each one of these until they are done. You'll actually see that this pole will glow blue and light up to indicate it's done. Then once it's done, they'll all start linking together, and pretty much these orbs are going to move into the center of the arena. At this point, all 4 teammates once again have to move up here, or if you don't, then just, well, get teammates to activate all of these as fast as possible. You need to activate all 4 of these orbs that have replaced where the challengers normally sit, and pretty much you'll be teleported into another ritual. This is the second Zeus one, and it's very easy. It's not hard at all. Just, you'll be given your special ability actually, and it will keep recharging itself extremely quickly. So I'd recommend you get it up to a stage 3 for this part of the Easter egg. And you can just kill everything. That's all you have to do. Just kill all the gladiators that are going to spawn, and you'll get a white flash on your screen when it is over to indicate that this step has been completed. You have now completed the Zeus section of the Easter egg. Now we will be moving on to the final chapter, which is Odin. So if you've gotten to this point, congratulations, you are doing extremely well, because you are on to one of the last steps of the Easter egg before we are actually on to the boss fight. Now pretty much after you've done all this, we're on to the Odin section. 9 blue symbols will have appeared in the underground area of the map, all surrounding the Pack-a-Punch area and the entrances to the different god areas. Now pretty much, as I show you on screen, you're going to need to line up shots with the upgraded wonder weapon that will be able to hit 3 of these symbols with one shot, and you're going to have to do this 3 times to make sure you cover all 9 symbols. So I'm going to show you each of these shots on screen. The way I would recommend doing this is doing it similar to how we're doing it, and I'll actually show you each shot being hit properly. And what I would do is have one teammate with the wonder weapon stand at the first one getting ready to shoot it, and then look at your end goal and have another teammate stand there so you can aim above their head or around them, and they can tell you how close you are to hitting it. And pretty much, if you've done it successfully, the symbol will keep glowing. You're going to have to need to do 3 sets of these, obviously. I will be showing you all the shots on screen right now. It's fairly easy to do, honestly, after some practice. I think once we get it down, it won't be too hard to do at all. And all you have to do is, well, hit 3 symbols with 3 shots 3 times, and then this step is actually going to be done. Now at this point, everyone needs to head back into the pit and stand on this grate that I'm showing you here and hit it with a special weapon. Maybe kill some zombies around it just to be safe. Generally fling about with a special weapon, and then you'll actually see your screen will flash white and you'll be entering another ritual. Now this ritual is trickier. Honestly, it's a little bit on the trickier side, but I know you guys can do this. Now pretty much water is actually going to be falling in the grate behind you, as you can see through the gate, and it's actually going to be rising up in beneath you so that you can reach a key. Now what you're going to have to do is just survive in this area through different waves of special zombies, which will include multiple Blight Fathers, all that good stuff. So again, monkeys, or homunculus as they're called, is going to be hugely helpful for this. Using your special weapon at tier 3 ideally is also going to be hugely helpful. Double pat weapons, the actual wonder weapon, is all going to be very helpful in allowing you to beat this ritual. And at this point, you'll actually see, as I show you on screen, once enough of the water is risen, you'll be able to pick up the key, and congratulations, you have completed the Easter egg and you are now on to the boss fight, which honestly guys is not difficult at all. You're not going to have a hard time with this. So yeah, let's get into the strategy of how this is actually done. So as always, now that you've got the key, the last step is the boss fight. So you're going to want to make sure your elixirs are charged. You've each got 4 perks. Ideally, you're going to want to pop aftertaste elixir just before this to make sure if you should go down, you're not going to lose any of those precious perks. Each person should have 2 double packed weapons, or if somebody's got the wonder weapon, keep that for sure. One thing that's very important to note is, as of making this guide, there is a bug that exists where if multiple people are using the wonder weapon in this boss fight, it can cause a crash. So I wouldn't recommend this. I'd recommend only one person takes it in, just to be safe. Again, monkeys is hugely helpful in this boss fight because there's just a lot of bullet pounding into zombies, and generally keeping the zombies out of your way will be very helpful. So what you need to do is head back up actually into the arena, and by this gate you'll see you can actually use this key to open this kind of gate area, and you'll all now be able to go into the boss fight. You'll need to go up to this gate, hold square, and you will be teleported in to this arena, which is actually just out the back of the map behind the 2 of the god statue areas. And this area is massive, it's open, and it's very easy, honestly. You'll get so many max ammos in this, so many carpenters, which actually repair your shield in this game. And all you're going to have to do is kill all the special zombies that will spawn. And this honestly isn't too hard. Again, I say monkeys, throw them down. Everyone can just put damage into them with, as I say, LMGs and rifles are very good for this process. Ammo won't be an issue just because the sheer massive number of max ammos you're going to get during this. And then after a while, after you've killed all those, you will see 2 elephant type things, or 1 at first anyway, will come through this gate. You just need to pound damage into him. His stomach is his weak point, and after you've actually shot him enough, this shield type thing will fly off of his back, and then you just need to keep shooting the crap out of him, honestly. Just keep shooting him and then he'll fall down, and then he'll be defeated. At this point you're going to think you're done, but you are not, because another gate is going to open, and a second one of these guys is going to come through. These are the most venerated opponents, as they are called. Pretty much you need to kill this guy again in a very similar way. The only difference is here is he actually has archers on top of him, and well, these will shoot at you and deal a bit of damage, so you need to watch out for them. You can shoot at them, does their attacks. This elephant will charge at you, so you need to be very careful to avoid that. Just as I say, shoot into his stomach. With 4 players doing this, honestly, you're not going to have an issue. He'll die pretty quick. And congratulations, once he eventually does, you have completed this Easter egg, and then after a little minute, Don't worry if there's a delay, there was for us too. The cutscene will then begin to play and you will get this trophy. I hope this guide has helped you and you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. This is honestly an awesome Easter egg, a great start to the Black Ops 4 season. And I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you on more BO4 Zombies videos. 3 more guides to come, guys. More Easter eggs to be solved. I can't wait. Bye.